What is going down, everybody? It's your boy Ray G. You can find me on Twitter at RayGQ. Thank you for checking out the show, coming to the station, watching on YouTube, listening on the podcast. If you are, subscribe to Destination Debbie. Subscribe to DLF. This is a proud member of the DLF family of podcasts. Got to give a big shout out to DLF and all the dope stuff they're doing with Dynasty Fantasy Football. But in the rookie report, what we do is we just track strictly rookies. That's it. We're talking about these rookies' weekly value. We're looking at them like the stock market. And I know, I love you, Matt Kelly. That's my dog. Matt Kelly is my dude, and he hates referring to players as shares in the stock market. But we're just trying to see week to week how these rookies are performing. Should you be going out there acquiring these rookies in Dynasty, or should you be trading them away? How did they perform? Did they look good? Did they look bad? And this past week, to be honest with you, majority of the rookies kind of looked like rookies. Week 1, we had some really good performances out of the quarterbacks. Running backs, we had some outliers step up, explode onto the scene. Wide receivers balled out from top to bottom for the rookies. And then the tight end, Kyle Pitts, didn't really have the best day in week 1. In week 2, it was a lot less exciting. Quarterbacks didn't play well. Running backs didn't play well. Wide receivers were okay. Kyle Pitts showed up, but that's okay. We are going to talk about the players that matter for your Dynasty leagues. And I'm going to give you a couple of sleepers to throw out there as well that you probably should be trying to acquire in your Dynasty leagues. But we're going to do all of that right after we drop the intro, baby. All right, so Rookie of the Week for Week 2, none other than my guy, my man, Arizona Cardinals rookie wide receiver Rondell Moore. 7 receptions, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, converted all 7. Well, he had 8 targets, converted 7 of those targets. He actually leads the Cardinals in targets. More targets than Christian Kirk. More targets right now than DeAndre Hopkins. And no, I do not think that is going to be a trend that lasts the entire season. But it's really good to see a young, dynamic player get on the field and perform. We saw him create big plays with his legs, the explosiveness, the speed. And we saw him this past Sunday get down the field on the Minnesota Vikings and catch a long bomb from Kyler Murray and just be involved all over the field. Rondell Moore is a player that he doesn't look like an alpha. He's not 6 foot. He's not 220 pounds. None of that stuff. But what he is in his explosive, dynamic athlete playmaker that I think Cliff Kingsbury is just ecstatic to have on his team. He's really transforming how Arizona plays because they don't have to throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins 15 times a game. He creates so much versatility and flexibility on that offense that it makes Kyler Murray better. It's going to make DeAndre Hopkins better. And Rondell Moore is going to be a big beneficiary of that here in 2021. To start the season, Rondell Moore's season-long total receiving props were set at 545 yards. He is almost at that point right now. Just 2 games into the NFL season. He's damn near, a third of the way there, quarter of the way there. Y'all know I'm not good at math, but he's getting close to 545 2 weeks in. He'll get there. He is going to beat that receiving prop if he stays healthy all season. I am actively trying to acquire Rondell Moore in Dynasty. 1, I'm biased. I like him. I think he's a dope player. I love his prospect profile for the past 2 years. But 2, we see the utilization in Arizona. We see how they want to get him involved. And he's not even touching the ball out of the backfield right now. We've seen very few jet motions with him. It's only going to continue to increase. Rondell Moore's not even receiving a 50-60% snap share right now. So just imagine by week 6, week 7, when he's actually playing 60-70% of the snaps for Arizona. I mean, good luck trying to acquire him at that point. Rondell Moore is a damn stud. The rookie of the week for week 2 in the NFL, Rondell Moore. Go trade for him in Dynasty. Now, we had some absolutely dreadful performances from the quarterback position. I mean, none of them looked good. I'm just going to be real. Mac Jones was my guy last week. He was the best out of the bunch this week, but even that was a little uninspiring. But the worst of the worst, Zach Wilson. 19 for 33, 210, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It was abysmal, and that's what Bill Belichick does to rookie quarterbacks. Listen, my thing with Zach Wilson, and I think I predicted him to be the second leading scorer at the rookie quarterback position for 2021, due in part because of the Jets defense. They were going to have to throw the ball And he's just, by product of volume, Zach Wilson was going to fall into a lot of fantasy points. My big concern with Zach Wilson coming out of the NFL draft was sort of just kind of level of competition and that gunslinger mentality. When you have that gunslinger mentality, it's the counter opposite to Mac Jones. And it's a good segue to get into Mac Jones. And I'm not done talking about Zach Wilson, but Mac Jones this past weekend, I think he was the best rookie quarterback again. 23 for 30, 186 yards. That was it. No touchdowns, no interceptions, took a couple of sacks. Right now, Mac is like the anti-Zach Wilson. He is playing extremely safe. He's taking what's there. If the play's not there, get it out of bounds. I had this conversation with my boy Scott Connor, Dynasty and Chill. He's not losing you games, but right now he's not winning you games. And I think that is a more correctable quarterback flaw than just making boneheaded decisions. And it's 1 week. I am not panicked on Zach Wilson. I am not punting Zach Wilson. I'm not trading Zach Wilson away after 1 week in which we saw Peyton Manning throw multiple interceptions as rookies. Every quarterback goes through these growing pains, and I'm sure Mac Jones is going to have his time. We saw Justin Fields throw an interception in relief of Andy Dalton, but it just goes to show that, right now, the most pro-ready quarterback, in my opinion, was Mac Jones, and, he didn't have a great week. He didn't have a terrible week. Zach Wilson, terrible week for the rookie. If anybody in your dynasty leagues are panicked on Zach Wilson, I think this is an opportunity to acquire him because I still think he's going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. The Jets he has no time. The offensive line is bad. The receiving core with Corey Davis and Elijah Moore is good, but it doesn't matter if you're good if the offensive line cannot protect you. We know he's got the arm talent. It's just when it rains, it pours. And for Zach Wilson, Bill Belichick just makes it pour on rookie quarterbacks. So this was not a good spot for Zach Wilson to be in. And maybe he learns a lot from this. You get this one out of the way early in the season. Hopefully we see him bounce back next week versus the Denver Broncos. I think they've got the Broncos this week. But Zach Wilson, not panicked. Terrible performance. If you can go get him for the low because of that 4-interception game, I would probably try to go and do that. Now, Justin Fields came in relief of Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton looked like he tore his ACL. Then he was back in the game, and now they're saying he's going to play. He's not going to play. I don't know what's going on. Justin Fields goes in there, 6 for 13, 60 yards, 1 pick, 6 interception. He did throw a beautiful pass to Allen Robinson that A-Rob probably should have come down with. If he completes that, I think it was a 40-yard pass, would have been a touchdown. That stat line looks a hell of a lot better. But Justin Fields, we know what he can do with his legs, and he may get an opportunity to do that on the field this coming Sunday. Stock neutral for Justin Fields. If anything, give him a little bump up because he's actually going to play. Not going to hold that interception against him. It was bad. It was abysmal. It was brutal. He threw it right to the Cincinnati defender. But again, coming in cold off of the bench for Andy Dalton. No prep time this week. Justin Fields' stock should be going up. Now, Davis Mills is another rookie quarterback who got on the field. Quarterback of the Houston Texans. 8 for 18, 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Versus Cleveland, he came in relief of Tyrod. He's going to play this Thursday versus Carolina, which has an incredible defense. This is probably going to be a bad spot for Davis Mills. If you have Davis Mills in Dynasty and there are teams who are in need of a quarterback, I would try to trade him right now, right before this Carolina game, because he could go out there and have a Zach Wilson-esque game, get pulled for whomever the backup quarterback is. This is not a good spot for Davis Mills. I have no interest in Davis Mills in Dynasty, and if I do have him, which I do have him in one league, I am trying to trade him ASAP. Trey Lance, no playing time, incomplete, no stock up, no stock down. Jimmy Garoppolo still the quarterback until Kyle Shanahan lets us know otherwise. Trevor Lawrence, bad game. Just didn't look good. 14 for 33, 188, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. This is what you're going to get. And Denver's defense did this to Trevor Lawrence. What do you think they're going to do to Zach Wilson and that depleted Jets offensive line? Pray for Zach Wilson going against Von Miller, Patrick Surtain, who's the leader for NFL Rookie of the Year for the defense. T-Law, he had a touchdown early, and then it was ugly interception after ugly interception. And I think this is what we're going to see from this Jacksonville offense. They have no continuity. I don't know what this team is doing. Right now, these quarterbacks, they all look like rookie quarterbacks. And if I were going to tell you to buy any of these guys right now, because I still think the jury is still not convinced that Mac Jones is good for whatever reason, do it now. Do it now before the Tampa Bay game. Because I think in that game, The Patriots are going to be forced to throw the ball to keep up with Tampa Bay, regardless if that's what Josh McDaniels, and Bill Belichick want to do with their rookie quarterback. They cannot dink and dunk Tampa Bay and win. He is going to have to put the ball in the air. And even if New England loses, even if Mac Jones throws an interception or two, if he puts up 300-plus passing yards on this Tampa Bay defense, his stock is going to go through the roof. We are going to see people say, nope, I see what's coming. We've got another Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers type quarterback on our hands, and I'm not trading him away. You're hedging. You're because he can go out there and just completely shit the bed and look terrible and his stock kind of tanked. But he's going to be the quarterback for the next 5 years and probably longer. So if you are in need of a quarterback in Dynasty, I think the prudent move right now is to trade for Mac Jones prior to the Tampa Bay game, because they will be forced and have to throw the ball to beat Tom Brady and that potent offense. And that's when we're going to see what Mac Jones can have, what we have in Mac Jones. So overall, the rookie quarterbacks this week, I probably give them in total like a C-, probably a D+. Like the group in general, it just wasn't good. Mac was the safe one. Zach was terrible. Trevor Lawrence was terrible. Justin Fields only played a half, and he was up and down, but that's to be expected. Davis Mills, terrible. Trey Lance didn't play. So rookie report for the quarterbacks this week, probably give the entire group a D+, the best looking one out of all of them. Once again, 2 weeks in a row, Mac Jones. All right, most people's rookie RB1, Naji Harris, another pedestrian day on the ground. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. 10 for 38, averaging 3.8 a carry, long of 14. But he did salvage the day with 5 receptions on 5 targets, 443 yards and 1 touchdown. Really saved his fantasy day. Pittsburgh looks terrible. Ben Roethlisberger is not good. That offensive line is putrid. And Naji Harris is working really hard to pick up 30, 40 yards a game on the ground. It's, he's playing all the snaps. I mean, I think I saw a stat that of all Pittsburgh's offensive plays, like Naji's been off of the field like 3 times all season. So he's on the field. He's getting the volume. We saw him more involved in the passing game, which he only had 3 targets in week 1. Bumped that up to 5 targets. He converted all 5 of those targets for 43 yards and a touchdown. We like that. Like, we're happy with that, and we'll take the 38 yards on top of that versus the Las Vegas Raiders. It just, we want more. We want more, but there's only so much Naji can do behind that offensive line and with Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. So for me, I'm going to give a little bit of a stock up. I'm seeing a lot of wild stuff on Twitter. Naji is the next CEH. Stop the bullshit. Like, cut it out, folks. He's played 8 quarters of football. He was productive. He was the top 12 running back in fantasy this week with that stat line. Relax a little bit on the Naji CEH comparisons. He's going to be fine. He's playing. He's the focal point of that offense. And with Deontay Johnson potentially sidelined for a little bit of time, they're going to have to lean more so than ever on Naji Harris. No concerns about Naji. I'm actually going to give him my first stock up outside of Rondell Moore, who was Rookie of the Week, but stock up for Naji Harris. I'm also going to give a big boost to the RB2, RB3 in the 2021 class, Javonta Williams, the Denver Broncos running back. 13 carries, 64 yards, and then he had 1 reception for 10 yards versus the Jaguars. All right, Javonta, now we're getting warmed up. Week 1, 14 carries. Week 2, 13 carries. It's starting to go. He's starting to pick up that steam. He's starting to build some steam up, right? Melvin Gordon's still running well, but Javonta Williams, another stock-up arrow for Javonta Williams. Things are looking up for him. And I think by mid-season, we see a true split backfield, or maybe even like 70-30 Javonta Williams. Who knows? If a team gets some injuries at running back, they trade Melvin Gordon and give the reins to Javonta Williams. Again, another one of those players who's, his value is still kind of depressed because he's not the guy. He's not the lead back. But if you can go out and get Javonta Williams right now, that probably is a wise move. And I'd be willing to trade a 2022 first-round pick straight up for him right now. Don't know if every league would accept that, but if you've got league mates who would, make sure you get that done. Stock up for Javonta Williams. Really loving what Denver's putting together. Teddy Bridgewater orchestrating a really good offense, even without Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton stepping up. Noah Fant doing his thing. Javonta Williams is going to continue to be a bigger part of this Denver Broncos offense, and I love what we're seeing on tape right now from the big bruising back out of North Carolina. Michael Carter is also a running back whose stock is on the rise. After his Week 1 performance, where he had a few carries, like 4 carries, 6 yards, did nothing versus the Carolina Panthers. Versus the New England Patriots, he came back 11 for 59, averaging 5.4 a carry. look like the best running back on that team. Again, Jets are bad. Did Zach Wilson no favors. Maybe what they try to do moving forward is run the ball a little bit more to take some pressure off of Zach Wilson. And if that's the case, I do think that at least by midseason, Michael Carter will have established himself as the primary ball carrier for the New York Jets backfield. So Javonta, stock up. Also, Michael Carter, stock up. Now, the other running backs, the big one, Elijah Mitchell, he shit the bed, 17 for 42, hurt his shoulder, couldn't convert his goal line attempt for a touchdown. I don't know. I mean, you got him week 1. You still got to roll him out there. Trey Sermon gets hit, concussed, fumbles the ball. There goes another rookie running back, right? Now he's out. So Elijah Mitchell, all right, Elijah, this is it. Like, if you're going to play, you better do it this week. They just signed Jaquez Patrick, the running back out of Florida State. Elijah Mitchell's got to get it done this week in order to matter. And then Kenneth Gainwell. Talked about him as a buy last week. Gainwell, he's got his role. Philly, they didn't run a lot of plays. I mean, San Francisco was driving the ball 90 yards down their throat on Sunday, like consecutive drives. So we didn't see a ton of Kenneth Gainwell, but he is the clear number 2. Boston Scott, 0 touches, no rush attempts, no receptions, no targets. It's Miles Sanders, it's Kenneth Gainwell. And knock on wood, because we don't pray for injuries, but if something were to happen to Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell is the back that you want. Sneaky RB buy this week. Go get Demetric Felton. Jarvis Landry out. We don't know how long Odell Beckham is going to be nursing that knee injury. Felton had 2 receptions, 51 yards, and a nice, nifty little receiving touchdown last week versus the Texans. They may try to get this dynamic playmaker the ball a little bit more. It kind of reminds you of this Tyreek Hill early in his career, gadget player, not nearly as explosive, not nearly the speed, but the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, to line up out wide, to run the ball out of the backfield, to return kicks, return punts. Demetric Felton, like a sneaky low buy. I would go get him because if Jarvis misses multiple weeks, Odell Beckham's still not 100%. They need explosiveness on that offense outside of Nick Chubb. Demetric Felton could provide a spark for that team. So go get Demetric Felton. If he's sitting on waivers in Dynasty leagues, if you can acquire him for low, 2022 third, 4th round pick, couple of fourths, go get him. Go get Demetric Felton. He's well worth the ad. Somebody that I am looking for in waiver wires in Dynasty leagues. But overall, running back position this week, B-. Naji did get in the end zone. We did see Javonta Williams more involved in the offense. B-. B- for the running backs. A lot more impressive than the quarterbacks, but still a lot left to be desired from the running back position in week 2. Hopefully we see some improvement here in week 3, but let's wrap it up with the pass catchers. So we talked about Rondell Moore already. He is the rookie of the week for week 2, 7 for 114 and 1. Best rookie wide receiver in week 2, followed by Ja'Marr Chase. He does it again. I mean, he was quiet the entire game. Did nothing until the 4th quarter. 1 YOLO ball from Joe Burrow. He splits the defenders. They run into each other. Boom, 40-yard touchdown pass for Ja'Marr Chase. He had 2 receptions. Devonta Smith had 2 receptions, but Ja'Marr Chase converted those 2 for 54 yards in a tubby, while Devonta Smith, couldn't get on track with Jalen Hurts. I believe he had 7 or 8 targets in that game, which we love. One of the highest target share leaders in the NFL in week 2, but only converted 2 of those for 16 yards. No tubbies for Devonta Smith. Hopefully he gets on track next week versus my Dallas Cowboys. Travion Diggs is probably going to be locked up on Smith one-on-one, so that's going to be a hell of a battle. But Ja'Marr Chase, 2 weeks in a row, 2 touchdowns. That's why you don't worry about the crap that's happening in the preseason. Ja'Marr Chase is a stud. He's going to be a locked and loaded stud. You roll him out there every week. He's good. He's great. 2 receptions, don't care, 54 yards and a touchdown. Really saved his day. Devonta Smith didn't do well. Jalen Waddle, 6 for 48. Again, just kind of ho-hum. Even in a blowout, you expected more. They're getting blown out. Jalen Waddle, 6 for 48. Give me more. I want more. Speaking of more, Elijah Moore kind of showed up this week in a bad loss for the Jets, but he had 4 receptions, I believe, over 40 yards. I think it was like 43 yards for Elijah Moore. So good to see him getting more acclimated to that offense, playing in that number 2 role across from Corey Davis should only yield positive things for one Elijah Moore. Moving forward, stock up for Moore, stock up for Ja'Marr Chase, stock up for Rondell Moore, neutral stock for Devonta Smith. He's not down, he's not up. Got to convert more than 8 of those targets for 2 receptions. A lot of that wasn't on Smith, but I don't care. You're getting 8 targets, convert them. So stock even for Devonta Smith, even for Jalen Waddle, up for Rondell, Ja'Marr Chase, and Elijah Moore. I cannot wait till Rashad Bateman gets back. We need Shotty B back on the field for Baltimore. We're seeing Hollywood Brown thrive with Lamar Jackson. Make sure you send out offers to go get you some Rashad Bateman because he's coming back and he's going to command targets in that Baltimore offense. Now, the final rookie performance that we need to talk about from the pass-catching position was Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, 5 for 73 versus Tampa Bay. Even in a blowout, Kyle Pitts looked good. He's on the field. He's running routes. He's playing all the snaps. Just get him the ball, Matty Ice. Get him the ball. Kyle Pitts is a stud. I traded him away in Dynasty, but I ended up getting Patrick Mahomes, so I feel good about that deal. But Kyle Pitts is a locked and loaded stud. Again, this week 2 of the rookie report, a lot of the guys didn't do well. They flamed out. Go get you some Rondell Moore. Go buy low on Demetric Felton, and make sure you buy high on Kyle Pitts. I think this is the point where you just need to go get him. He is going to be an absolute monster for us in fantasy, one of the best tight end prospects that we've seen come through. Hopefully we get some better performances in week 3, but I'll have you covered one way or another. Your boy GQ will be here for you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, engage with the people below in the comments, subscribe to the podcast, check me out, stay tapped in. I'll be back next week. Out of this thing. Peace.